Oh, I got confused because I heard game audio already. Ladies and gentlemen, those between and those far out, longtime viewers and newcomers alike, welcome back to the Idaho Esports Twitch channel. My name is Kaz. I'm joined here tonight by Spirit to cast some Overwatch action. That is what happens on Thursdays outside of our Rocket League games. The after hours section, except it's very much not after hours, and we're still restricted by normal FCC broadcast regulations.
That is true.
Latest
stream and run though.
Yeah, it's after our normal gaming time because these are VOD streams. So it's kind of after hours, but not after dark. Tonight, our Overwatch varsity team will be playing John Brown University in a typical regular best of 5 set, which I've heard is pretty exciting. I've heard some fun things about this matchup. Obviously, I don't know how it ends. I've only really talked to the players before the game, and that's about it. So all of our reactions are going to be genuine and in real time, but the gameplay will be not. So let's actually start talking about the gameplay, or at least what we're expecting to come out of tonight. Obviously, yesterday we saw the Overwatch team go against, it wasn't Kikua.
That was the League of Legends stream we did.
No, we also did Overwatch.
We did, yeah, but Kikua was the League stream. I'm blanking off the top of my head.
Me too.
But they won 3-1.
Yeah,
so that's
a very fun
as
set
if
that we
now
saw.
We don't know the results for this game, but as now the Idaho Vandals Overwatch are undefeated. 1 forfeit win, 2 map wins. So that's pretty cool going into week 4. 3 wins under the belt.
It's a very fun time to get into. Now, I'm not exactly sure what the map pick was yet or who picked this map. But I do hear the hero bands. Yes. I believe it was Reaper Wu Yang?
Reaper Wu Yang, yeah.
Yes.
We do have map bands, too, up in the chat, so we will
There were map bands?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we should get told what maps are banned, what maps we'll see. You think we're going to see Kings Row, Servasa, and Route 66 again?
Yeah, actually. We're going to see Kings Row for sure because nobody in Organized for some reason plays any other map. There are much better hybrid maps.
That's debatable. I think that's one of the best. But I am also a Blizzard World enjoyer.
Solos, and I don't even like hybrid. Eichenwald solos Kings Row. I think also Blizzard World solos Kings Row, and Blizz World is also not one of my favorite maps that we play. But outside of that,
Hatsune Miku!
The map that we're about to watch. We're on Samoa for first map once again. Seems to be a very popular pick amongst this league of competition so far. Going to see Brawler once again walking out on the Hazard. Sandman on that classic Cassidy. Magic Turtle on the Lucio this time around with Meat on Kiriko and Widowfang on Sombra. So we actually saw this comp very similar before, but we didn't know what the hero bans were last week. And we were under the impression that Venture was banned because usually we'd see Widowfang on that Venture. But no, it seems like the Sombra is just the comp that they want to use, and maybe for good reason, especially into what we have going on here, right? If you're able to bother the Juno enough, that's a lot of time she's not going to be able to have onto her team, right? At least in terms of Ram, any kinds of healing negation is what you want trying to play into that character, right?
Absolutely.
He's not as oppressive as he used to be, but even still, he is kind of the modern day brick wall, and it's really hard to fight past that wall if you don't have that negation. Now, obviously, we saw the Vandals take that first cap. Seems like John Brown's going to be the one to go for the flip, at least for a little bit. We're going to see the Nemesis form out from Hatsumiku. And a couple kills going out from John Brown onto the Vandals. Going to be a nice little fight, one for them. And Magic Turtle, unfortunately, overstayed his welcome and is going to get staggered, leaving more time for the Vandals to have to reset. I'm not exactly sure what that came from, but I don't know. Maybe it's like a genetic Lucio thing to just want to int and leave and not work anywhere.
What? You're crazy. No Lucio player. No, every Lucio player is perfect.
Yeah.
No,
Everyone.
If you're playing Lucio, you're good in my eyes. You can do no wrong.
Well, you have Spirit's approval. And Sandman has my approval. Nice little kill on the Kyria. Open this fight up, followed by picks onto that Soldier, onto that Juno. It's going to be a lot less core for John Brown to play with, and Hatsumiku is going to be the last one dead in that fight. Still in wave with their Sojourn and still having a little bit of time to reset, but even then, just not exactly where you want to be, especially where that ult charge is, right? Hatsumiku is up 97% on that ult. It's going to be the first one on John Brown to have theirs up. Meanwhile, the Vandals are about to be running into this with 4, right? They already have Downpour, Deadeye, Beat, have that rush coming up in just a minute, and you're seeing that Downpour out now. You're finding one stuck in the hack to stop the Juno from going anywhere. Literally exactly what I said the Juno was there to do, right? Or the Sombra.
Oh, beautiful picks from Brawler, picking up both the supports in one go.
Absolute massacre in this little mega corridor here. No one was able to escape. You saw John Brown kind of pinched from both sides, right? And, I mean, even then, Vandals are going out of that fight basically using 2 for nothing and still feeling really good about their odds in this next fight. Obviously, John Brown is going up with more ults, right? But even then, we still have the support ults. We have that defensive beat. We have the rush. We have the EMP for counter, which looks like Sombra is setting up for now. And boom, see the 5-man EMP. Absolutely perfect. And the rest of John Brown is going to fall one by one. Sandman's not going to let Bezel get out alive. And that's going to be another fight win for the Vandals. One to keep John Brown on their toes as they reach final fight territory for Volcano. Obviously, the Vandals have that beat, still have something to keep themselves up in this fight, but is going to be very concerning to see how they survive against this orbital. You already have 2 of the Vandals down, but they weren't able to touch. I wasn't even paying attention to the percentage. And I guess they just didn't have the ring, didn't have the speed to get onto point fast enough to be able to contest it. That's going to be a free first point for the Vandals as we go into City now.
Yeah, that was a really good cap. I liked the aggression of trying to push them back towards the spawn and keep them further away from the point. And I didn't think it was going to work out, but it was executed flawlessly. Yeah. No one was able to touch in time. We even lost 2 players, and nice little point on the board.
Going into the second point, and it seems like things aren't really changing up. You still see John Brown running the double hit scan, which usually I don't have a problem with, but I do bring it up in this situation because I don't feel like I've been seeing Bezel really contest those off angles that Soldier is typically supposed to play, right? If you're going to be running a Soldier in your comp to any capacity, they're probably going to be playing very similar to a Tracer, right? Go in the back, poke the back line out a little bit, make them nervous, make them move in a way that is beneficial for you or your team, and then get out when you're suddenly contested, right? Is the Soldier magic. And the magic of Brawler is going to be felt by this Kiriko. It's going to be Alphamanian be the first one to fall from John Brown, followed by Spicy and Trainera. Now, Meat does end up being traded out pretty late, but it still seems like the Vandals are very comfortable, able to get that first cap going in their favor.
Yeah, it's very awesome to see just how perfect Brawler is at tracking down those supports and getting them right off the board, and that's just easily picking up a team fight win for the Vandals. No heals, can't sustain.
Yeah. You do see that Sombra from Widowfang picked out very, very early, but maybe it doesn't matter. Sandman is able to take out their Kiriko. Do see the Lucio falling as a trade, but then Brawler takes out Juno. Hatsumiku takes out Sandman, and Brawler takes out Bezel. It's kind of just a little ugly brawl for the side of Hatsumiku. And unfortunately, they're not going to be able to survive. They do get the flip momentarily for the side of John Brown, but it's going to be taken right back by the Vandals to keep that percentage going.
That was a really nice recap. Only let them get up to 10% instantly. Back towards where it needed to go. Brawler poking a little damage from the back, getting in their head a bit. They try to rush straight down the center.
A beautiful dive from Brawler onto their Juno, completely left stranded. Tried to get a little bit of peel, tried to use that hover to get out, but unfortunately was never going to be able to survive that interaction. Unless Curie somehow has the ability to hit direct Suzus now, which I don't think that's an update they added. Trainera is going to take out Widowfang, but Hatsumiku is just sitting on crit health. Not a bunch of support from their team. And while the Vandals still have the numbers, they don't exactly have the space. Obviously, the rest of their team is still coming back from spawn. They're kind of just waiting to make another push here. Maybe to open up with a downpour, as we typically see Brawlers start these fights with. Maybe to go with an early rush and kind of just engage onto their backline. You do see the early pick from Meat onto Trainera, so that's going to be that hit scan down. Widowfang is just looking for somebody to hack to stall things for a little bit longer and is going to be able to escape alive. I almost thought I just watched this guy jump off the map, but he knows what he's doing. Don't worry about it. That's going to be Hatsumiku once again falling. No competition on the end of this point at all for John Brown, and that's going to be a 2-0 map win for the Vandals.
Yeah, that was a beautifully executed plays from the Vandals. Locked that down, only lost a handful of team fights, barely let them hold the objective, and played coordinated, played beautifully.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see, especially out of a team that is so, like rehearsed, is so consistently, trying to work their way up into seeming as a convincing, solid, competitive team. I think the Vandals are doing a really good job at that, right? Again, you saw every fight kind of coordinate with these counted plays. You saw Widowfang holding those off angles, waiting to hack somebody, so the rest of their team could capitalize off that weakness that John Brown had. And it never really seemed that they had an issue. We never see any swaps out of either of the teams.
That's true.
Which, especially for John Brown, and I'd say this for the Vandals sometimes as well. They struggle with it as well. But there is no shame in swapping. I think there's a big stigma around counter swapping that I think should not exist. Especially with perks. It's possible to just play the game by swapping and still get things done and not feel evil for it. Unless if it's fair. Oh, you're playing D.Va? Okay, I'm going to play Zarya or something like that.
The whole rock, paper, scissors kind of meta Overwatch had for a long time it's still there, but...
Yeah, but to a less extent. I feel like perks make things a lot more even than it used to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now we're going to be going into this next map. Unsure what it is. Probably King's Row, if I remember the pattern of last week correctly.
Yeah. Samoa was the first map last week, too.
Production has confirmed that the second map is King's Row. I mean, I'm just Apollo, I guess. The map bans for this going to be Hazard and Soldier. I'm assuming Hazard from the side of John Brown and maybe Soldier from the side of the Vandals, which makes sense that the Hazard that Brawler has been bringing to the playfield has been very offensive or very impressive to John Brown. If they don't really have an answer to it, I guess the best they can do is just ban it, right?
Well, if you get rid of Hazard, all you're going to do is bring out the Winton, and
that's true, which is actually, I think, Brawler's much more comfortable character on this map, and I lied. We're playing Sigma.
Well, that makes sense for defense on this point. Sigma's a pretty common pick to kind of hold down this first choke point. You can throw the shield up, block the Widowmaker. You can pretty much block the entire main choke point that you're going to have to run down unless you take the hotel path. So I don't hate the Sigma here. I would hope to see the Winton on the offense, though.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And unlike our opponents from last week, doesn't seem like John Brown is itching to use that Symmetra. Mind you, they are starting on their offense, so you know they have some time to figure out what the Vandals' game plan for this is going to be. And as for the side of the Vandals, I think something that they were struggling with last week in terms of defense on King's Row is kind of just giving up space too early. They'd either go up and or down a little too fast, lose a lot of space too soon, and lose fights. But it definitely doesn't seem like that is what they're going to do today. You see that early wall to trap Hatsumiku in that first choke, find that first pick, Widowfang onto Alphamanian, slow things down for John Brown even more.
It is worth noting we had a little bit of a swap up. Last map, Vandals were red and John Brown was blue. This time it's reversed. Vandals are going to be on the blue and John Brown will be on the red side.
True. And we also, I believe, saw a substitution from the side of John Brown because I don't believe Hawk was playing Juno last map.
I don't think so.
I like the idea of someone in a lower collegiate league playing, being named Hawk.
Yeah.
My favorite tank in NA right now, Hawk, from Space Station Gaming. He's currently making waves in OWCS right now after having not played for 15 months.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's
quite
been
the
fun
time to be
seeing him
away
on the stage. And unfortunately not as fun to see Widowfang fall like that. Seeing a lot of free space from Trinera just holding down that left click and walking forward. Even with their tank deficit, it's still just allowing John Brown to kind of walk forward and do whatever they want. That's going to be 5 on point to get that first tick. Maybe a second one. The May wall to stall them for a lot longer. And the Ram slow. He's going to trap Brawler there. He's going to fall.
Sandman with two,
Sandman does find his 2, but the second wall is going to go up and unfortunately not be struck by a plane. That's going to be the point cap for John Brown, leaving this base with 4:40 to go. And still a lot of momentum to work with, right? We're very close to that beat, very close to the Blossom, already have that Blizzard online as well as the Rush. Now, obviously, we're a little bit slow on that tank ult from the side of John Brown. But maybe it won't matter if they know how to play their cards right. They should be able to find a nice little easy fight win.
I'm really hoping for everyone pressing
and
Q here.
Oh my
nice
goodness. Pick. That rock followed by the May Ice School, that was so mean.
Oh, what a perfectly placed bully angle onto Widowfang there. Keeping him alive just in the nick of time. And you got to run away from that. You're just going to get stunned down. Nice place outward for Magic Turtle there. Vandals just kind of picked up real good there.
Yeah.
Only dropped 2 ultimates. Both are supports, though, so a little bit losing of a defensive advantage there if they come in with a Death Blossom. And
yeah, I mean, I didn't even see who that Nano went to as well, but I'm assuming it was a survival Nano. You know, it was a big fight, lots of damage going out, so I was assuming that one of the Vandals must have been critically low, and that Nano must have saved them in that moment. In the meanwhile, that means that John Brown is up in ultimates and just has to work to not be finished off as early. You see this rush coming out from them as well, the wall to slow them down that they're refusing to break, the beat coming out as well, and the Flux grabbing a couple, not finding anything affirmatively, but doing enough, right? And one by one, more of John Brown fall into these ultimates. Saw the Blizzard come out from the Vandals as well, which now is definitely putting them in the ult deficit for this next fight. You see that Annihilation online for Hatsu, and Trainera with that Blossom up has been picked rather early and unfortunately just has not been able to, you know, do too much in terms of Reaper effectiveness. But hopefully for John Brown, that will change a little bit in this next fight.
And there it goes. Poppy Annihilation going to get hacked. Nice Suzu out of it, though. Oh, what a sleep dart. Team's kind of creeping around, getting towards that first initial push around the corner. These corner spots on this map is really easy to defend here. And that's kind of what held him up last week. And Cycle's kind of repeating. Rolling right around the corner. Death Blossom coming in, able to pick up Brawler and Meat.
Mean Blossom to punish the last 2 in front of this choke. The Vandals didn't exactly have the numbers to fight that, so I wasn't expecting anything to go too crazy, but I mean, that Blossom is, you know, a way to put it in the coffin, for sure.
Absolutely. And if you're the Vandals, you're pretty happy with that progress you did make on the defense there, because you held them for a nice solid 2 minutes before they were able to get to the, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the word, the checkpoint. So the time could be worse.
And already, you know, the Vandals were not alive to be able to hold them at this first corner, so they're a little slowed right now. They're not exactly sure how to go. Kind of still in this neutral, just trying to get some damage out. See the Nano going out on the Brawler to keep him up, and I guess that's the push that he needed. They're going to find a few in that fight to take John Brown down. Something of a stagger onto Bezel.
I respect just accepting your fate. Knowing you're about to get staggered, might as well accept it.
Although that's still time for them to be able to recuperate in meantime. Usually you see those staggers like as the enemy team is coming out of spawn. That slows them even further down, but because Bezel was able to get back into this team fight, they're able to fight with the rest of the team and find a pick for it. Obviously, that Wu Yang's going to be the first to go out, right, from the side of Magic Turtle. Brawler taking out Hawk to prevent a beat. Oh, and you see the Orisa will come out as well, but it's not enough to keep him alive. He's going to be dying to that Iceberg freeze. And Sandman, I don't think, is going to be living very long here as well. I lied. Wait, he's still alive. John Brown be embarrassed. See the Blizzard come out from the side of Widowfang, catching Optimanian, catching Hatsumiku. You do see the beat forced out from the side of Hawk, but it's not doing enough to keep John Brown alive.
Oh, what a spear. Off the map. Gotta love getting those environmental eliminations. That was a good hold. I thought we were about to C9 right there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was very close. Very, very close. And now, minute 30 left on the side of John Brown with not too many ultimates. It's once again, it's no support ultimates, and it's that Blossom and the Annihilation that we saw at the second corner, right? It was enough to get them past that corner, but considering how the Vandals have been holding this so far, I don't know how confident I feel in John Brown being able to find a success. You do see the Suzu prevent the jab, though, and Hatsumiku is getting so much space. The Blossom finding 3, forced to back up into it, and the last 2 are going to be fined by that infinite annihilation that just never seemed to stop from the side of Hatsumiku.
That was a really solid 5-man wipe.
Yeah.
1 minute on the clock exactly for John Brown right now. So Vandals will swap on over to offense and let's see how far they're able to push that cart.
Maybe I doubted the Vandals a little. I mean, maybe I doubted John Brown on that corner a little bit too much.
Fair enough.
They made it work. They made it work again. Very well played, too. Again, like, just forcing the Vandals to back up into Trainera as they pop that Reaper. It was the perfect opportunity to find those last 3 kills, and obviously, you know, no one to keep up the Orisa and the Mei that were the last to fall to the Annihilation. And the Vandals playing their turn on their offense. I have no idea how things aim to change from either side, but it doesn't really look like it. You see Magic Turtle on the Life Weaver, and I don't know if it's being silly or if we're just playing Life Weaver now.
I would love to see the Life Weaver get played.
I would. Bring back Beaver. It was a fun time. The BAP Life Weaver, it looked crazy, but it worked, and it was super fun to watch.
It is. Okay, swapping on over to the Lucio.
Yeah,
that makes
does make sense. You want that tempo. It's important through these corners, being able to have the speed advantage. Obviously, you have Hawk on the Lucio as well, but it's different. It's looking a lot different. It doesn't seem like comp is changing up too much from the side of John Brown. Looking to play this first choke very similar. Have Mei there waiting for the wall, waiting for somebody to walk past, but doesn't seem like the Vandals are going to take the bait just yet. You have Diva setting up on the right side for the Vandals. Just looking to see who they can walk on. Looking like the plan is going to be just to take this high ground from John Brown and force them either to back away or to fight on their terms.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the Suzu coming out very preemptively. Could be an opportunity for the Vandals to capitalize that, but unfortunately not. That Mei did have that iceberg up, so Bezel will live to see another day, right?
Run, Sandman, run. Let's play from Brawler coming in to keep Sandman alive. Push the Reaper out.
And once again, for the Vandals, their whole game is just going to be playing this high ground, right? Making sure that they have the advantage to walk on whoever they choose. And so far, that's worked, right? Widow has already taken out Bezel. That's a lot of damage being denied from the side of John Brown.
Yes, it is. All right, Brawler looking to push him back, eating a whole bunch of damage there.
See, this is why the D.Va ends up working so well in this matchup. Is because Ram, he doesn't really have that mobility. He doesn't have the help of the Symmetra to move around. Now, if somebody's on the ground, he can walk past them, and since Brawler wasn't down to front his team, unfortunately, the rest of them were going to die, and that is going to be a ticket back home to the spawn room for a little bit for the Vandals.
Yeah, they're holding this first objective a lot stronger than the Vandals did. So, got to see how they're going to try and break through this. Got a good system going here for John Brown.
See that dice sent pretty early. See the slow also sent, but also kind of wasted. Usually you'll see that slow to prevent some people from walking around, right? And it was really just to deny the space for a little bit, right? But you see that Annihilation coming out from the side of Hatsumiku while two of his team members are already down. Reaper does find Magic Turtle for his troubles, but definitely seems like the Vandals are going to be coming out on top in this situation.
TP'd right into Widowfang, though, so had to get out of there real quick. And it looks like this should be a nice cap coming in from the Vandals. Minute and a half on the board.
It was definitely a little hard fought, right? Definitely didn't seem as strong as John Brown's offense, right? They were able to cap that first point in 440. Vandals taking this one in about 340. But doesn't seem to be deterring them at all. You still have Widowfang trying to cause some attention to himself. Trying to allow that D.Va to set up for some kind of dive, right? Trainera is going to walk on that Sandman, but is going to get an EP out of the Vandals. Trainera also able to take another one out. That's going to be a D-Mech from Brawler. Oh, very, very sad. And Trainera just walking back with the advantage they already have, right? Booping, being booped away by Magic Turtle, but still just causing some unnecessary stress onto the side of the Vandals.
Does seem that way. Vandals are kind of getting back here, starting to roll the payload out just a little bit more. Looking to make it around this first corner. Are going to get met with a little bit of contention from John Brown. Good barrier placement. Wait for it to fall on out. Huge hack coming in by Hatsumiku, forcing him to draw out the big boy form. Great beat coming in from Magic Turtle, though, to keep the team alive instead of that Blizzard. Nice pick from Sandman, taking out Bezel. Vandals are kind of holding the advantage here, forcing John Brown back towards where they came from. Just, yeah, keep spamming the damage away, get that cart rolling.
Wow. Why did I not even realize that Brawler swapped to the Zarya?
I didn't either.
I just saw the bubble. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. There's a Zarya on the map now. Definitely seems to be working a lot better. I know that we've seen glimpses of the Zarya from the side of Brawler in previous seasons, but seeing it especially in this meta is reassuring. Unfortunately, she is super strong right now. But maybe not, unfortunately, for the Vandals. They're able to cap this second point. 3:21 left for them on the clock. Not exactly with the ult advantage. You still see Hawk holding that beat online for John Brown. All the Vandals really have to work with is this rush until this grab is up, right? You do see the rush already out and the counter beat to follow from John Brown. Brawler is just working to try and get a grab, but unfortunately the fight is going to slow down just a little bit. Sandman's going to fall to that Blossom. Brawler will find the trade and the big grab to get way more of John Brown out of the game. It's going to be a hack and a dice on to May from Widowfang and more time to walk up. Now, something I already like about what the Vandals have planned here is that they have that EMP online, right? You're obviously probably going to see a very early engagement from the side of John Brown, either with that Annihilation or the rush once it's up. But if they have that EMP, so long as Widowfang does not die.
That could be huge because, I mean, if you're all coming out of spawn together, you're all grouped up.
Hatsumiku is also in incredibly low health, and Bezel is going to fall to Widowfang, having no support from the rest of his team. And that EMP to follow up. That's going to be Hatsumiku absolutely deleted. No TP for Othmanian. Going to fall off the map. Magic Turtle and Sandman finding their kills respectively to take at least the offensive win from the map, right? Capping with more time and switching sides to see how long it takes for them to get through this overtime.
Yeah, that was a really good offensive play. They were pretty choked up for a good bit there in the middle of the first point, as well as capturing the first point, and then also when pushing the payload, they were choked up on that corner. But as soon as they got their eliminations, got the ball rolling, they pretty much steamrolled it right to the end. So great execution and great team play coming in from the Vandals here. Swap over, see what kind of picks we see. If we'll run back to the Sigma. We're going to stick with the Zarya on the defense, and we're going to run a little bit of Reaper of our own.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I think, a much better situation for the Vandals to be running, right? If Sandman is able to coordinate how he wants to push, he should be able to get those bubbles with the help of Brawler and kind of just walk into their backline or walk into their core and kind of just do whatever they want, right? So definitely depends on, you know, how these first couple fights go. Determine how I feel about John Brown's success at winning this map. Obviously, we saw a couple things not go in the way of the Vandals last week, so be able to get that full cap and continue to work is reassuring.
It is. It's really awesome to see how much this team has grown and come together as with this specific group, because every single semester that we've had an Overwatch team, it's been pretty much a new lineup. So very happy to see that they've kind of found their groove thus far in our season. Oh, early elimination from Sandman.
Very, very early. And that's what I mean. It's like if they're able to get the bubbles, they can just walk in, get a bunch of damage for Zarya, just do whatever they want.
Nice hack onto Ramatra, too, kind of forcing him to play back a little bit. Oh, he's going to fall to Sandman.
Wow, the wall coming just a little bit too late. Able to get the Wraith out, and with the help of Bezel, I mean, there is just no living that from
already 20 seconds on the board.
And Brawler is just full charge.
Yeah.
Like, he unfortunately just has no pressure here. Doesn't really need to use his bubbles. But if John Brown knows how to play this, he'll just ignore him, right? He's already high charged. He can just melt through him. Trainera.
Oh, that's a huge pick. Following it up with one more.
Oh, wow. I mean, there's absolutely no surviving. And that's going to be basically a full hold.
Yeah, that was the most textbook perfect defense I've seen on this map probably ever.
It's the power of that Zarya Reaper.
Yeah.
It's the power of Zarya Reaper. It really is. I don't know why it's taken us so long to realize it, but we're using it now. Everybody's using it now. Oh, my goodness.
Because, I mean, what are you going to do? If you shoot the guy who's coming right in your face, he's going to blow you up with the shotguns, and then if you try to shoot him, all you're going to do is charge Zarya, and no one likes to charge Zarya.
Exactly.
So I don't know why that kind of took so long to become so normal.
It took a while for Zarya herself to become meta.
That makes sense, yeah.
I think the last time she was like really strong was when
probably
Younger Queen came out.
Yeah, on launch.
And like that's about it. So it's kind of nice to see Zarya back on the playfield, even if it is in such an awfully toxic manner.
A little bit.
It's not disrespectful, no, but it's just like you look at that comp and you realize, oh, it's just so broken. It's just so broken, especially when you have a team like the Vandals running it that really know how to utilize that Reaper, the bubbled Reaper, to their full advantage.
That's true. I would really love to see a Reinhardt come back. I don't even know when the last time Reinhardt was your go-to guy, but
End of Owl.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Shout out London
Double
Spitfire.
shields and triple shields even at some point with that GOATS meta. Don't think we need to bring that back up.
No. And once again, even with running the tank with less mobility, obviously, the last time the Vandals were running this offense, they were running the D.Va instead of the Zarya. But even then, they're still fighting for that high ground. They're still fighting for an opportunity to drop on one of John Brown's players and completely collapse them from the inside. And you have Sandman trying to do just that, getting a little bit of damage, but Vandal's going to be slowed down by that pick on the meat, right? Trainera going to find another one onto Magic Turtle that is the backline completely stalled, right? 84 health to 0. Bezel's going to be the last shot needed to get Brawler down. And, yeah, not great paces for the Vandals. I guess, not great for John Brown either. Don't really have a lot of ults to work with, but, there's still a couple fights that can be made. It's not all said and done just yet.
Not yet. Vandals only need that one first tick to pick up the W on this map here. And it looks like they're getting it, forcing John Brown off the point. Okay, got a little bit of a contest here right at the last second, but Brawler's able to pick up Bezel.
Sandman taking out Hawk. One more online and found it. The Reaper diff coming out from Sandman. Othmanian trying to TP away, but there is just no stopping Sandman. Find that 3K to finish off the map. Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy. All it took was that little bit of momentum, get that first pick, let Sandman do his thing, and Brawler keep him alive.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. Well played, well played.
Absolutely so. Nice to see that we've learned from our mistakes on the side of Kings Row, and even then I'm sure that the Vandals walked away from Kings Row last week thinking, we should have had that, right?
Yeah.
But you can tell that they're doing the things to figure out why things aren't going wrong and where they can improve. This is a team that VODs. This is a team that scrims. This is a team that gets their practice in and
times a
really
week.
Puts a lot of work into becoming better. And we're seeing that unfold into the series now. 2-0 on to why am I blanking? 2-0 onto John Brown University.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, we're up 2-0 on
in
John
the
Brown?
series, yes.
Yeah, and we're going to be running on over to Havana shortly to start our map 3. So that'll be exciting. Are we going to... Okay, looks like Sombra and Ramatra have been banned for map 3. That kind of makes sense. Widowfang is doing the Sombra things very, very well, pretty uncontestedly, so might as well get that little thorn out of your side. And then as well as Miku on the Ramatra, he's kind of been carrying most of those team fights with beautiful annihilations as well as great tracking on the Wizard staff. So that's another one to get rid of and can help the Vandals keep their momentum going even easier than they already are having it so far. Might as well do it on your last map.
Yeah,
hopefully.
I mean, we also haven't seen Hatsu play anything else outside of that realm, this series, right?
Yeah.
We haven't really seen any switches, but we don't know if they can play that Sigma. We do know that, well, wait, what?
You did call it. He is playing. Oh, wait, they swapped Miku out, put in Bezel on the tank. Interesting.
Oh, there's complete role swaps happening this map. Maybe. That is an interesting change of pace.
See if it works for the better, though.
Maybe. You do see Trainera on the hit scan this time around on Sojourn. Peggle, who I don't even remember seeing in map 1 on the Soldier.
He might have been Soldier on map 1. And then because they did, they'll do a little bit of swap. Oh, I think you're right.
There was a support swap after map 1 because Hawk is in. I think I just have to go back into map 1 because I don't remember.
I like the Hanzo pick on this map, though. You got a lot of good places to get your sonars up. And
this was actually a little bit of what I was talking about last week. I wanted to see that Hanzo come out from Sandman, right? I said he had it under his belt, but, there's not a lot of opportunities for him to run it. But maybe Havana is the right time?
I would say so. Oh, he clearly was. Nice little headshot dink to start it off. I like seeing Widowfang on the Symmetra again, too. That was a pretty good pocket pick when he wasn't playing Sombra.
And it works well, especially if you're just being really mean. Which Havana is definitely a map that you can be really mean with beam. Mean with beam.
Yes, it is. Especially if you've got a shield that you're playing into, you can get all that free charge and ammo. And it looks like John Brown's kind of being contested right here by the Vandals, all playing on the low ground. Except for Widowfang up in that left corner, spamming out those big shots that he can. Nice takedown. Oh, tracking down the Sigma here. Not quite able to finish the job, though. Sandman with another elimination. Kind of even out our scoreboard a bit.
He's just probably hard calling this Sigma, who's now full health and was previously crit. Also got a little bit of damage from Peggle onto that bubble, so keeping that upcharge alive in terms of Zarya power. Widowfang still kind of just holding that corner, preventing themselves from being died, but not poked out. A rail is going to be absolutely lethal on the Widowfang.
Being tried his best there to keep Brawler up, but not quite play out. Oh, what a pick.
Nice 2 coming out from Sandman.
I realized Sandman was here in the back line until now. Meat able to find one more. Not quite a lost point yet. Vandals are able to regroup and contest and keep this first objective alive.
past that 2-minute mark now. Vandals just continuing to walk forward, forcing that lamp out super early, which unfortunately is something that Hawk has not been getting punished for. But at least the Vandals are aware of it, or at least working to make something of it, right?
Oh,
Trainera finding another lethal rail onto Sandman. You see the window coming out from the side of John Brown as well to force them off this corner. Unfortunately, he's not going to go anywhere, but we'll just keep him here, right? The rock does connect on the brawler. He does get hit by the flux. He does have a bubble to save himself in the meantime, as well as the Wu Yang ult.
Combo with the Graviton.
Oh, I mean, there's just no living that if you're Peggle
Oh.
or anybody else on John Brown.
Not at all. What a hold. Sandman's getting greedy, falling down, able to finish the job.
I get it, Sandman. The easiest shots, people walking in a straight line, and you can't hit those.
Nope. Nice little stagger onto Ana here, too.
You love to see it. Peggle trying to come back and push them off. You do see the first swap that anybody on this team has actually made, and that's going to be Bezel swapping from Ram to Zarya to Mirror Brawler. But you have the Symmetra wall in a situation where John Brown has no forward, no bubbles from the side of Bezel. That's going to be the tank down so early. Sandman finding Hawk. Brawler looking for another, but Sandman's going to find it on the Trainera. And a third onto Othmanian. Brawler going to be the last to clean that up, and that's 15 seconds left on the side of John Brown. With
I don't know if they can make it to Carton time.
I don't think they can. That's 10 seconds left. 3 ults up that they don't really have the opportunity to use. The OC immediately shut down with the help of the Ana. DC Hawk trying to fight for the touch. Bezel's going to be the one to get it, but not for too long. The Deadeye is going to stop Peggle right in their tracks. And that's going to be a first point denial from the Vandals for their third match point in this series against John Brown University with really, really good odds.
Yes, it is. I'm as giddy as a kid on Christmas seeing how well the Vandals are playing right now. All right, what picks are we going to see rolling into our offensive push? Wonder if we'll bust out a little venture. Maybe the hazard. We got some good diving spots. But no one's here yet.
Go.
And there we go.
Hero select phase finish, and that's going to be Brawler hopping on the Winston.
Yes.
Which I'm actually a big fan of, right? There's a lot of opportunity for dives on this map, especially when you're playing for such a short distance. But I don't think that Brawler is very aware of what John Brown is planning with this Reaper, with this Bastion, with this Sigma. I mean, I can already see it. Someone's going to get rocked. There's going to be a shield behind them. Reaper's going to be there. Bastion's going to be there in turret form. And that person's just getting absolutely melted.
Yes, you are. I don't hate this comp from John Brown, though. If you've got a short defensive push, you've got to bunker down as hard as you can.
That is true.
Sandman looking to kind of recreate that old cinematic. Whiffing the shot on the Ana.
See the turret up to get the Sim and the Monkey up to high ground. You see the Reaper trying to deny the area. Forcing Brawler out pretty early because of how much damage just was onto him so fast. But still, it seems like the Vandals are getting very free car progress. Looking for an opportunity to set up. You see the Bat overcommitting to this dive, and boom, Othmanian's going to drop. You see the nade and the immo come out, and now that both of those things have been burned, Othmanian is expected to die. Does not, but is expected to. Right? You see Brawler recouping back to the point, and Widowfang left alone to fall to Trainera.
Vandals don't even care, though. They're ready to keep on pushing.
Mm-hmm.
Bastion is coming around behind. Pretty much just what you were talking about. It's about to unfold. And there goes the shield.
Yep.
And the on-and-aid to finish the job on a Brawler.
I mean... And that's important when you're thinking about these kinds of brawl comps that teams can be running. It's about the cycle, the ability cycle. And in terms of the Vandals, what they really need to do is kind of hopefully figure out what that cycle is and learn how to play against it. And you're seeing it a little bit, right? We're seeing Sandman on that Cassidy trying to poke some people out, either the Reaper from any position or the Brawler, or, Peggle to force that turret form out a little bit early so they don't have that to work with later.
Yeah, I don't hate this high ground take.
No,
Getting them to kind of disposition all of John Brown. Going to stagger around just a little bit, making their way up, and we are going to lose Widowfang in this first push here, but Sandman will take a trade and pick up the Ana.
The Rock kind of wasted onto Brawler and just backing up, right? You have the turret in front of the window. Everybody knows to kite, except for Sandman. Well,
it happens.
Yeah, it does. It does. I've done worse things on Cassidy.
Fair enough. Nice Rock to pick up Brawler, too. Vandal sitting 145 on the clock. Not a whole lot of distance to keep pushing, though.
I'm going to pretend like I don't see the capture progress so far. And just talk about ults here. And what do we have? Wu Ying has their ult up. So does Ana. Also have the Deadeye and the Sim Wall coming up pretty soon. Obviously, we saw that window come out pretty early from the side of John Brown, so they're not really going to have that to deny this push. But Bezel is still going to take out Magic Turtle anyway. Boom, Sim Wall up, Flux up. One of the bubbles have been wasted, and someone's gotten Nano. That's going to be Reaper from the side of John Brown. Is going to force some of the Vandals to walk away. Brawler is going to find one for their troubles, but unfortunately die for it. That's 2 for John Brown for Bezel, slowing things down and still keeping up paces just to prevent this push from the Vandals. See them going for this high ground TP once again, and hopefully trying to figure out like how they want to engage. Right, they have 35 seconds left on the clock. It's last fight territory. We're just barely coming up on that grab. Meanwhile, Trainera already has that Blossom, right? We have the window very, very soon from the side of Hawk, who is actually going to die as soon as I start talking about them. Trainera is going to find Sandman for their troubles, but it's going to be a big back and forth. But Trainera doesn't care. He's finding 2 with the Blossom, finding finding one with the help of Peggle, right? And once again, now the Vandals are stuck in a very similar situation that John Brown was on their defense. You see Magic Turtle on this push. The nade is missed. Sandman finds Optimanian with the Deadeye, and that might be the start of the end. Brawler finds Trainera. Widowfang taking a lot of damage, but Bezel is just getting knocked around like a pinball by the Wrecking Ball. You see the Bastion getting absolutely melted in a fight that should have been absolutely lost for the Vandals. Has suddenly been flipped on its head, and that's going to be a map 3 finish. 3-0 for the Vandals into John Brown University.
That was insane. I thought it was lost there. They played like Anthony Edwards in crunch time, just came in at the very last second, dropped the 3, got the point.
Yeah.
Wow.
And again, I mean, it's just a situation that I don't think I ever would have expected to happen again. It looked so lost. It didn't seem like the Vandals had enough time, but you saw that rollout from Magic Turtle excellently executed.
I think there was like less than a second on the map before they were able to touch to trigger the overtime. So,
and unfortunately, Trainera just whiffed a little bit too hard, preventing them from walking forward, as well as that biotic grenade, right, that was thrown in an attempt to stop him. That unfortunately was not doing much.
Whoa, what's happening to our replays?
There we go. The replay slideshow start up. And I mean, overall, just an excellently played series from the Vandals. You can definitely tell that they improved upon a lot of their mistakes that, you know, giving up space too early, giving up fights too early that they were really struggling with last week. Then, you know, came to not mess around for sure today. They were absolutely here to show that they're learners, to show that they had what it takes to compete and come out on top, even in a lot of situations where it didn't really seem like they were going to.
No, yeah. That off-map kill.
Yeah.
Well played from Brawler.
Now going into maybe next week, another win on their belt. I forget how many weeks of competition there are in total, but A 4-0 lead this season is nothing to scoff at. The Vandals, I'm sure, are very proud of themselves and are definitely going to be working hard to make sure that they can keep that up into the offseason.
Yeah, if I'm remembering correctly, this might be one of the only teams that's being streamed that's currently undefeated still.
Yeah, that is true. And they're making this stream us off VODs.
Yeah, true.
No, but it's fine. I get it. Things are getting moved around this year. Things change. And wins and losses happen. Not for the Vandals, though.
No.
We seem to only take those.
That we do.
Yeah. Leaving the series with their heads held high. Vandals should be looking forward to next week. I don't exactly know who their opponents are, but I'm sure they're plenty excited to get to go and get to fighting through the rest of the season and see what other impacts they can make on the group stage.
Absolutely. I'd love to see a playoff run roll out too.
Yeah, and at least from us, that is going to be all of the gaming content, all of the Overwatch content that we have for tonight. A special thanks to our sponsors, Ziply Fiber and Monster Energy. Ziply Fiber being what keeps us alive at home.
That is very true.
Fast and affordable fiber internet that allows our players to practice in the best of internet conditions. And Monster Energy keeping us hardwired through these long gaming sessions and keeping us at the top of our game. So a special thank you to them as well. I don't have my Monster out on the desk because I had a Monster last night and went to sleep at 6 in the morning. So I
Fair
am
enough.
learning my lesson.
Yeah, they will do that.
But from us here in the caster booth to you, would like to wish you a special thank you for joining us at another night of Epic Gaming content in the Idaho Esports Twitch channel. If you enjoyed what you watched today, you can go ahead and follow with the notification bell. If you hate us, you can decide to unfollow later. But other than that,
If you
it's
love us,
free.
drop your Prime sub on us.
Yeah, if you're feeling generous or have that Prime sub lying around, why not use it on us? You get some fun emotes to use in chat. You get a cool badge next to your name, and you get to help support a grassroots collegiate esports community, which I think is pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Spirit, do you have any final words for the broadcast tonight?
Not anything else besides what you just said. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for supporting your Vandals. And GG's to John Brown.
Yeah? Have a nice night, everybody.